So today's continuation of the gaslighting theme is how to detect a gaslighter up close. These are not foolproof. This is just my, I guess, turn coping mechanisms into how to just detect it. So first things first is watch out for anybody that's trying to insert themselves into a particular position in your life, whoever that is. If they're trying to be like almost like, oh, you could tell me, oh, you can try, you can do this for you know that it just and be careful of just the repeating rhetoric, because that it's not the first time, it's the 12th time that'll wear you down, where you really need to talk to somebody and they just happen to be there, and the other 11 times are out the window, but now there it is. Now, I'm not saying that everybody, I mean, you're right, maybe sometimes it is actually a sheep instead of a wolf, and disguised as one, but erring on the side of caution, the only thing that can be consistent is the like a pattern of repetition. How many times will somebody be pushy to try to be something for you, rather than saying, hey man, can you lend me your listening ear? Where you just reach out to somebody and they make time for you. There's a little nuanced difference. So watch out for anybody that's trying to insert themselves into a position in your life as a confidant, or as a wing person, or as a trusted whatever it is. Just I'm not saying it's wrong. They might be overly friendly. They might just be on a culturally friendly place that you don't even understand, that is foreign to you. But I'm not saying discount it. I'm not saying accuse them of it. I'm just saying just note that. Note that type of persistence towards a particular definition or leverage or structure or dynamic, whatever it is. And be willing to sacrifice it. Like, they might just put that something on the line, like, well, I did this for you, when it wasn't something you asked of them. It's they're doing you the favor. They volunteered, and then they want credit for having volunteered X amount of time later, in which case give up that card. Just say, oh, okay, you got me, all right, but then put in your notepad saying they're going to leverage you in an undisclosed way. Oh, you can, no, it's just a favor. If it's just a favor, then it's all evens out. Everybody does favors for everybody else. So the way to really tell is start at, if there's a gut instinct, don't even preface, don't even say, sometimes the irony is like sometimes those kind of people are the people that will ask for forgiveness rather than permission. Maybe go with that attitude. It's okay to be accusatory. I think people who, hey man, are you doing this? It's, you just said this, it's coming off this way. Go with your feelings, point that out. And it's not to catch them on anything. It's just to notice, what do they do with you expressing your feelings? Hey, when you said this, it made me feel like this. Or, hey, when you just told me something that, got me ringing here. I don't know why, I just wanted to share that. Just notice what they do with it. If they combat it, or they try to dismiss it, or they try to prove you wrong, when you're just sharing things, there's a nice little red flag. And then finally, well, not finally, I mean, there's going to be more. I'm just, this is just kind of off the cuff based upon the last two days gaslighting kind of theme. But all good things come in threes. So the last one is really trying to, if they don't get their information or their way, or to you to act a thing, you will notice a shift in behavior. And the shift of the behavior can come in the form of guilt-provoking, or threat-provoking, or blackmailing, or some kind of leveraging situation. I'm not saying you can resist all types of leverage. I'm just saying, when that comes, that should be a massive red flag for you. And if all three of those things come, if they're trying to insert themselves into your life, if then they're not able to and if they're not able to kind of like back off, where they're just always gonna point it out later. Like say, well, I did this for you, in terms of that soft sell. And then if they don't get their way and they go hard, just map out those data points. Because, after a certain point, it shouldn't even matter whether it's you or them or right or wrong. It should matter, like, does that dynamic work? And be careful of that, because if you leave the dynamic, they might come and try to leverage you. And anytime you're pulled and feel drawn back into it, just ask yourself, what is it that's doing the pulling? This is just coming from more of an observational point. There's nothing governing this divulging other than my own personal assessment of it. Anyway, so just keep notes about people, in the sense of, like, how many times is that happening with that particular person? How is it leveraged? What are they trying to do? And how do they treat your sharing, your divulgence, your circumstances, your feelings, your sentiments, when they're not really looking for it? Anyway, thanks for listening. Don't get gaslit.